Welcome back, and today we're going to be making three different cocktails with three different spirits, but all of them are going to have watermelon, kind of get into that summer vibe. So first we're going to start with a vodka one, and you're going to need 1 ounce of lime juice, and then half an ounce of a cucumber simple syrup. So this is just a regular simple syrup, 1-to-1 ratio, about 1 pint, and one large cucumber allowed to steep in that until it's cooled off. Along with that, you're going to need a 1/4 ounce of Saint Germain, half an ounce of Yellow Chartreuse, and 3 dashes of Peychaud Bitters. And Yellow Chartreuse is one of those things that you're just going to have for a very long time because it's only a little bit per cocktail in general. And 2 ounces of vodka and 3 cubes of watermelon. You can go ahead and throw it in there. You don't have to do anything. As you shake it, it'll be broken apart. Add your ice, and we're going to serve this up, so no ice. And give it a good shake to break all that watermelon up. And you'll see that that color is now completely in the cocktail, and it's not chunky as long as you strain it properly. If you feel the need to, you can go ahead and double strain this. But if you have a good strainer and you have a tight seal, you shouldn't have a problem, and you'll get a delicious cocktail from there. And we're just going to garnish this with a triangle of watermelon. And you can kind of do whatever you want. You can put a lime wheel, a little bit of salt, or just leave it like that. You don't need to always put a garnish. All right, for our next cocktail, we're going to be using tequila, a bit of a play on a margarita, but a couple things are going to be changed. So we're going to use a pepper simple syrup, half an ounce of this. So it's just, again, regular simple syrup allowed to steep with peppercorns for about a day. We're going to use a chamomile syrup, so just chamomile tea allowed to steep in simple syrup, so 1 bag to about 1 pint, and then strained off. 1 ounce of lime juice. So pepper and watermelon is a great combination. Again, yellow chartreuse, a 1/4 ounce of yellow chartreuse. Now, if you don't have yellow chartreuse, green chartreuse is okay. Just yellow is just a little higher in alcohol, and I find just a little more peppery. And then 2 ounces of Blanco tequila. I like Blanco, just a little more crisp, a little more briny, a little more green, if you would, vegetal. That goes great with the yellow chartreuse, the pepper, and the chamomile. And then again, 3 cubes of watermelon are going to go into this cocktail before we shake it. And then we're going to rim the glass of the cocktail with a little bit of chilies and salt. Kind of a spicy, salty kick to it that kind of goes well with the sweet and green of both the watermelon and the tequila. So just wet the side of your glass with a lime or just a little bit of water, and then roll it around in the salt and chilies. And then add your ice. Believe me, it'll save you a lot of trouble. And then we're going to shake our cocktail and serve this over the ice, and then kind of just garnish it with a lime wheel. And again, if you don't want to garnish with a lime wheel and just the salt, if you don't want to use chilies, you can just use salt. I mean, it's all up to you and your preferences. And again, if you want to double strain, go ahead. I don't think there is the need to. If you don't shake hard enough, maybe there's a couple big chunks, but if you're shaking properly, you shouldn't have any large chunks of watermelon. All right, and for our final cocktail, we're gonna make a gin and watermelon. This is one of my favorites. It's super refreshing. It's a little bitter because of the Lillet that we're gonna add. So 1 ounce of lime juice, half an ounce of chamomile syrup, so that same one you used for the tequila drink, so 1-to-1 ratio simple syrup with a bag of chamomile tea and allowed to steep. A half ounce of Lillet Blanc. If you have Coke Americano or Camus Vermouth, that's totally okay too. And then again, we're going to use Saint Germain, a 1/4 ounce of Saint Germain, just a little bit, just to kind of play with that Lillet and that gin. It's quite sweet, so be careful, don't be too heavy-handed. And 2 ounces of the gin of your choice. This is a little more of a serious cocktail. It's got a little bitter aspect because of the Lillet in it. It's a little more boozy, a little more alcohol forward, if you would, but it's one of my favorites, extremely refreshing. And then again, your 3 cubes of watermelon shaken, and we're gonna do this one over crushed ice. So 1 over rocks, 1 up, and now crushed ice. So shake your cocktail, and we're gonna pour it first into an empty glass, then add your crushed ice. This is going to help you so there's no overflow. There's many times where if you add crushed ice first and then your cocktail, the crushed ice takes up too much volume and you end up spilling your cocktail. So this kind of helps you judge how much ice you should add. And we're going to garnish this final cocktail with a sprig of mint. It'd be absolutely delicious with a rim of salt as well. Totally up to you. And that's 3 easy cocktails, all 3 different spirits, all with watermelon. So go out, buy some watermelon, make some cocktails. Let us know what you think. And if you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give it a like. It really supports us. And subscribe. And do make sure you make all 3 of them at a time and enjoy all 3 of them at the same time. And go ahead and double fist a cocktail like that. It's definitely worth it. And thank you so much, and we'll see you all next week.